Hello students, welcome to SDK Pathshala. Today we are in the class 10 and in the chapter Atomic Nucleus and Radioactivity is the name of the chapter. So before going to radioactivity, let us tell a story. Okay, so the story goes like this. At near about or in the year 1896 around, at that time, famous scientist Henry Becquerel he is doing some experiment, okay, with the salt of uranium, and due to the bad weather, he just used to put that uranium salt and a photographic plate in his drawer, okay, and left it for 2 or 3 days. And after 3 days, when he come and open his drawer, then he found an impression on the photographic plate, and from there the radioactive phenomenon or a particular phenomenon comes, and this phenomenon is first turned as back, or these rays are actually turned as Becquerel rays or Becquerel rays. And after the discovery of radioactivity by Madame Curie and Pierre Curie in 1898, in that year they turned that ray, that Becquerel ray, as radioactive rays. So this is why that paper get that impression. It was the question, okay. So that question is answered by Pierre Curie and Madame Curie when they discovered the radioactivity phenomenon. So according to them, after their period, after the discovery of radioactivity, it is found that the radioactive rays, there are three kinds of radioactive rays. Now how to get that kind of three kinds of ray, or from where we will get to know that three kind of rays? Because a particular radioactive material or the salt of the uranium is kept under the electric field and the magnetic field, and the rays which are coming from there are observed, and after the observation we will get to know that there are three kind of rays which are emitting from the nuclear or the radioactive substance, okay. And this is the spontaneous disintegration. What do you mean by this spontaneous disintegration? Spontaneous disintegration means it is a kind of phenomenon which is not affected by any physical means like temperature or like magnetic field or the electric field. You can't stop it. So to stop, you can't stop it, because it is a kind of phenomenon which is due to the process of continuous disintegration of the nucleus. It is not a phenomenon which is associated with the electrons. Okay, so coming to the nuclear phenomenon, so there are generally three kind of rays. Those rays are coming from a nuclear substance or radioactive substance, not nuclear substance, radioactive substance. So those radioactive substances emitted these three kind of rays. One ray is known as alpha ray, second is known as beta ray, and third one is known as gamma ray. Okay, now we need to know about the characteristics of these rays. So alpha is termed as, or alpha is generally a positively charged particle, or alpha rays rather are the stream of positively charged particle. Positively charged particle, here the positively charged particle of mass 4 and charge 2, which is considered as the nucleus of helium. Okay, so it is considered as the nucleus of helium. And beta rays are considered as highly energetic neutron, highly energetic electron. Okay, so beta is considered as highly energetic electron. So in this case it is considered as highly energetic electron. Okay, and gamma is actually a electromagnetic ray. An electromagnetic ray, it doesn't consist any of this kind of particle, but you can say the photon particles. It is a particular ray which doesn't contain any massed particle, okay, because alpha particle having some mass, beta particle have some mass, but gamma, there is no mass involved with it. So the no mass is involved with it means we can say it is a kind of photon. So okay, so to go further about alpha ray, we can say alpha ray is the heaviest of them all. Okay, and the penetrating power of alpha is very less. Penetrating power means it cannot penetrate through the substances more, like it can penetrate only 1 millimeter of thick aluminium sheet. Okay, but in case of beta ray it can penetrate 1 centimeter thick aluminium sheet, and gamma ray can penetrate few centimeter of aluminium sheet. Okay, and the ratio of penetration can be written as 1:10 square is to 10 to the power 4. Okay, so 100 times and then again that. So this is the ratio of the penetrating power of alpha, beta and gamma rays. But in case of alpha rays, as alpha ray is a heavy particles consisting ray, so when it goes through the gaseous medium it can ionize the gas more, whereas beta is not ionizing the gas as much as alpha do, and gamma is not ionizing at all the gases. Okay, so this is the comparison between alpha ray, beta ray and gamma ray. And another comparison, you can say alpha ray, the speed of alpha ray is 1/10 of the speed of light, and the speed of beta ray is 9/10 of the speed of light. But gamma ray, the speed of gamma ray travels at the speed of light. Okay, so this is the general comparison of alpha ray and beta ray and gamma ray, and you must remember the order of their penetrating power and the order of their ionizing power. Okay, next we need to know about a thing which is known as mass defect. What is mass defect? Mass defect, what is mass defect? In a particular nucleus of an atom there are present protons and neutrons. Okay, now if we measure all the protons, we know the mass of protons and neutrons, so if we measure practically, then we will see there is a mass of the nucleus, and in theoretically we will get the mass. For example, suppose there are few balls, suppose there are 10 red balls and 15 blue balls. Okay, and each of them, each of the red ball is having a mass of 10 gram and each of the blue ball having a mass of 20 gram. Okay, now suppose there are 10 red balls and 15 blue balls, so what is the total mass? Total mass will be 100 gram, and here total mass will be 300 gram. Okay, now if we add these two mass, we will get 400 gram. Okay, so this is theoretically we are coming, but when we measure these balls together, then we will find there is a defect on mass. Suppose 320 it came, so there is a mass difference. So whenever nucleus, the whole nucleus, mass of the whole nucleus is measured, so it is rather the mass is less than if we calculate it by protons and neutrons. Okay, so there is a difference between the mathematical calculation and practical calculation, and this defect is known as mass defect. Okay, and this mass defect is responsible for binding energy. Like in case of when protons and neutrons are together in the nucleus, so proton has to stay there, so protons are positively charged, but they stay at a particular place, so some energy which holds them together, which is known as the nuclear energy. Okay, and that mass defect is associated with binding energy. We know the equation of Einstein, that E is equals to mc square. So here that m is the mass, so the mass which is defected, that mass is converted into energy and hold the nucleons together, or you can, in other word, you can say binding energy is the amount of energy which we need to give to a particular atom so that its nucleus broke into pieces, that is all the protons and nucleus are divided or disintegrated. Okay, so this is known as mass defect and binding energy. Now another thing we need to know, that whenever a particular nuclei loses one alpha particle, then what happens? So alpha particle is the nuclei of a helium. So we can say, suppose X, this is AZ. Now if it remove or it release one alpha particle, then what will happen? Suppose the daughter is Y, so alpha particle, because H is 2 4. Okay, so add this, it will be A, and add this, it will be 2. So this is in case of alpha decay. Alpha decay means whenever a nuclei release one alpha particle. Okay, and in case of beta decay, suppose X Z A, so it will be Y A Z plus 1 plus beta. Why? Because E. Okay, come to the nuclear reaction. There are two kind of nuclear reaction. One is known as fission reaction, another is known as fusion reaction. So in first come to fission reaction. In case of fission reaction, a heavy nuclei broke into two or more smaller nuclei. Okay, smaller nuclei means their mass is less than that of the parent's nuclei. Okay, so parent nuclei means the nuclei which broke, and the daughter nuclei are the nucleus, those are formed, or rather the atoms, those are forms. Okay, so for examples, they are suppose uranium, when it is bombarded by a slow neutron, then it will produce two, so this is parent nuclei, two smaller daughter nuclei. One is barium, another is krypton. Another is krypton, and three more neutron. Okay, so now calculate the masses, like 141 plus 1, so 3 here, 3 plus 2 5 plus 3 plus 2 5 plus 1 6, and here 5 plus 1 is 6, and here 92, 56 plus 36 is 56 plus 36 is equals to 92. Okay, so this is the fission reaction. So this is known as the parent nuclei, which is a heavier nuclei, which when bombarded with a slow neutron, then after the bombardment it will break into two lighter nuclei, barium and krypton, and three high energetic neutron, and a sufficient amount of, or a huge amount of energy. Now there is this 3 neutron. These 3 neutrons are not slow, they are high energetic neutron. Okay, now from there we will get to know the nuclear reaction or the nuclear chain reaction. What happened to these 3 neutrons? Suppose there is a cluster of this uranium. Now if you bombard it with a slow neutron, then at first one atom reacts with each other and reacts with this neutron and broke into 2 pieces and produce 3 neutron, and those 3 neutron again collide with 3 uranium, and then again 3 3s are 9 neutrons are produced, and those 9 neutrons are again collide with another 9 uranium atom, and they produce 3 3 3 each. 9 3s are 27 more neutron. Okay, so this is a kind of chain reactions are occurring. So this kind of chain reaction is an uncontrollable chain reaction, and for every reaction there is huge amount of energy is created. So whenever we channelize this energy, this is known as, or we can channelize this energy in a in case of so spelling energy, what is the spelling of energy? Energy. Okay, so next, so what I am telling that in this uncontrolled reaction can be controlled in a nuclear reactor. There we used to control it. How will you control it? From the produced 3 neutron, if we subtract 2 neutrons by moderator, then we can have only 1 neutron with us, and that 1 neutron again collide with 1 and produce another 3. If we subtract those 2 from there, then we will get another 1. So this is how we can control it in a nuclear reactor. Okay, so in nuclear reactor we will control the reaction, and from there we will get the sufficient amount of energy, and from converting that energy to the electrical energy we can use it. Okay, another reaction is known as nuclear fusion. What is the meaning of fusion? Fusion means two combined with each other. Okay, so in case of fusion, 2 light atoms or light nuclei combined with each other to form a bigger nuclei. This is known as the nuclear fusion reaction. Like in case of helium 1 2 and hydrogen 1 2 and hydrogen 1 3. So these are the isotope of hydrogen. When they collide with each other or react with each other, in case of nuclear reaction, they forms a heavy nucleus, helium 2 4, and a particular neutron. Okay, so 3 plus 2 5, 4 plus 1 5, 2 2. Okay, and huge amount of energy. This time the energy spelling is correct, energy. Okay, so at the time of formation, when 2 lighter nuclei collide with or added up with each other and produce more heavy nuclei, then it is known as the nuclear fusion reaction. Okay, and in case of nuclear fusion reaction, lots of energy will also produce. Okay, so this is the things about the chapter. You will need to learn the chapter carefully, and if you not yet subscribe to my channel, then please subscribe for more this kind of videos. And if you have any problem and any queries, then you can ask me, and like the like button and press the bell button to get the notification of my next videos. Thank you.